Next up in the Sidney Lumet set is one that I've never heard of before. Child's Play from 1972. This movie stars James Mason, Robert Preston, Beau Bridges. It's about a public boys' school and some oddities that are going on there. Beau Bridges is an old student who has qualified as a teacher who's coming back to teach their PE department. You have James Mason, who is Jerome, a kind of older, hardened teacher who's quite stern on the senior students in the school, who seems to have almost everything going against him. And you get Joseph, played by Robert Preston, a man who's wanting Jerome's job, who's just waiting for him to retire to move up to that level and kind of continue his idea of where the students should be going. And these three teachers all have kind of different ideas. You know, you get Beau Bridges, who is Paul, who's just come into the school, and he sees Joseph and Jerome almost at a battle of wits.
Can we talk? Calmly for once.
I don't want to talk to you, Dubs. Just leave me alone. You've all made your point, haven't you?
Have we?
As the movie goes on, James Mason is wonderful as Jerome, a man who seems to be under incredible amounts of pressure. He has a tumultuous home life as his mother is dying and she's receiving phone calls. He is getting dirty magazines in the post. There are things being said about him at school, and he seems to be his back against the wall, but is quite steadfast on how he should proceed with his job.
I'm not about to retire, Dubs, in spite of all your fond hopes of the country. In fact, because of them.
Robert Preston, I think, is really good as Joseph because he's the man that kind of wants the job, who feels lost in a situation where he's being blamed for everything that's going wrong in Jerome's life, simply because he is the next senior teacher. He will move up to his position when he possibly can. And then there is this oddity of going on of abuse within this school, where kids are turning on one another and severely injuring each other. And it seems to be that nobody wants to say anything about it, but they all understand entirely why this is happening and what's going on.
Somebody help me!
Child's Play is such an odd movie, and I don't think it works entirely. It's leaning towards a kind of horror genre because it has these moments where the kids just turn on somebody out of the blue, surrounding them, looming in on them as the teachers aren't quite there. You get this kind of twisted evil of these kids by number kind of swarming the school, which feels kind of strange and uneasy as they kind of move about the school at night. You get Jerome being psychologically tortured by, it seems, someone, we don't know who, and Joseph being blamed for it all. And it's a movie that it never really picks what it wants to be. Does it want to be a thriller? Does it want to focus on these adults? Does it want to focus on the kids and the brutality to one another? Does it want to focus on the kind of horror aspect that is clearly there? And this is very strange for a Sidney Lumet film because it feels uneven. It feels not quite focused, and it feels like he doesn't know which direction to take it. It's almost as if wants to go in the horror direction and it dips a toe in there a little bit and then quickly recoils at the cold temperature. It's unfamiliar, it's uneasy, it's not quite where he wants to be, and kind of pulls back to the more dramatic elements of the power struggle amongst the teachers. And because of that, I feel it just doesn't quite nail what it's after. It gets there with its ending. I think it tries to over-explain what's going on, but by that point it's a little bit too little too late and more exposition rather than actually showing us throughout the film. Child's Play, for me, is the one movie in this set that just hasn't quite worked entirely. I wanted to go with it. I was interested in the kind of setup and that eerie feeling that is there now and again, but sometimes it gets lost in its own melodrama and never quite worked for me. So Child's Play, again, we get an interview with Designing Sidney, with the production designer, get an audio commentary, and that's that on this disc. Don't know if it's essential. If you're a fan of Lumet, I'd say check it out. It's always good to see something, especially something that wasn't as great as you expect from this kind of director. So let me know your thoughts on the film in the comment box below. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.